Hello, welcome to Capital Conversations. This is episode 13. Capital Conversation is hosted by myself, Brianna, with Soul Investor and Faya Webb with Leaving a Legacy Investments. She will be popping on in a little bit to join us, but we have an amazing guest today, Mike Christian, and he's going to talk about legal plans that support your real estate endeavors, which is obviously something that is very, very important for us to understand as we are in the real estate realm. Just a quick little background and bio on Mike. So Mike Christian Jr. is a dedicated educator and entrepreneur born in Washington, D.C. Mike has cultivated a rich and diverse career focused on empowering individuals and families through education and legal support. After spending his formative years in Washington, D.C., in the Washington, D.C. area, he moved to New York City, where he has lived for the past 15 years. The vibrant city has been the backdrop for his professional journey, allowing him to connect with diverse communities and contribute positively to the lives of others. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Mike. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, Mike, so that way you can share your presentation and hand it over to you.
All right, thank you very much for that introduction, Rihanna. I am here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to present to you guys and tell you guys about some interesting information that may benefit you and your families and your loved ones and your entrepreneur endeavors. My name is Mike Christian, like you said, and I've been working with a company called Legal Shield for quite some time now, and we are designed to help, especially entrepreneurs, small business owners, and families with life event situations. So I'm gonna actually just share a little bit of information about what we got going on and how these things can potentially help you and your future journey. So, can you see that clearly?
I can see it.
All right, good stuff. Now, typically when we think of attorneys, we think of the average person thinks of crime or whatever. However, you know, we can actually help with lawyers and law firms can help with so many different things, but we typically don't use them for them because typically to use a lawyer costs a lot of money, and that those particular conversations could cost hundreds of dollars per hour. But here's some things that you might not consider legal situations. Have you ever received a traffic ticket? One thought about revising a will, wanted to know your rights, been treated unfairly, identity theft problems, didn't understand or regretted it, and didn't understand the contract or regretted it later. Denied an insurance claim, needed to know information regarding your credit score, just wanted to know your general rights about things, right? These are typical legal situations that we don't think of legal situations because we typically handle these things ourselves, right? Um, Handle things ourselves because if we hire people to handle them, it will cost too much. Here with Legal Shield, we actually uh, take out those particular costs. So I'm going to slide. So just a little background about the company. We were established in 1972, and our mission is to protect and empower families across the United States. Already, we have 4.5 million lives that we're helping across the United States and in Canada. The vision is better to build better world where justice is equal for every family and every human being. And so I'm going to talk about we offer three core products, and I'm gonna go over our first one. And this is our pretty much our flagship product. And this is what helps. This is the general base product of everything else. We do have specialty products as well. So everything starts with uh, consultation. Everything starts with consultation. Everything starts with a conversation, just like this. And so what we offer is unlimited access to a conversation on unlimited number of matters. So if you have a real estate question, you get a real estate attorney. If you have a business question, you get a business attorney. If you have a question about a real estate matter in another state, you'll get a real estate attorney in another state. We have specialists no matter where you have an issue. We have a specialist that is there to, we have a specialist in that particular field, a lawyer, an actual lawyer, not a paralegal. No disrespect to any paralegals, but an attorney that specialize in that particular area that's going to satisfy your particular needs, and you get to talk to them on an unlimited number of matters, whether you have one question or 1,000 questions. You don't get charged more just for the conversation. Next, you get documents reviewed up to 25 pages each. Documents review up to 25 pages each. So whether it's a contract, whether it's a leasing agreement, whatever it is, you get to fax that into your attorney, have them review it for you, have them call you back and say, "Hey, put this in it, take this out of it." One of the things we always kind of say is, "Hey, I can read my contracts," and I'm pretty sure you can. This is not an educational thing. However, unless you know the law, you don't know what's missing from a contract, or unless you speak in legal terms, you might not quite understand what you're getting at, because there is a specific law called contract law, and they write specific words in there designed for lawyers to be read by lawyers. And if you're unless you're trained to do so, you might be selling yourself a little bit short in those particular contracts. They'll write letters or make phone calls on your behalf just in case they see the need to do so. Um, they'll even give you an hour of research per matter, just in case it's a specialty case that they just don't quite understand, or maybe a brand new law or whatnot. Next, they'll create a will for you, and a living will, healthcare proxy, and financial power of attorney. So, so let's just say you have a few real estate properties all across the United States. Of course, you want to make sure those things are properly put in the will so that you can get those to the proper people. Because if you do not have a will in place, the state will provide one for you, and you will not like it. Just this past year, my unfortunately my father passed away without a will, and though no one has challenged, no one in the family has challenged or wanted access to his estate or whatnot. However, it's still very much so a headache to have to go and fill out the paperwork, tell them I'm his son, I have to prove his son, have all these particular documents in place. It's a headache, even when no one is challenging everything. Now, if you add in the additional challenges, it can be that. So just having this service, make sure those things are put in place for you at no additional cost as a cost of as a part of the service. Traffic ticket assistance, 97 $79 just to appear in court. Wait 10 days, so slow down for 10 days. So even if you get a speeding ticket in California and you're somewhere in Florida or New York or wherever you lay, you can have a traffic attorney go to court for you, make sure the points are reduced or eliminated altogether, and the fines are reduced, and have an attorney go to court for you. Trial defense legal services, just in case somebody decides to sue you. You get a trial defense attorney to represent you in that civil suit to make sure your defense. Tax audit assistance. Tax season is here, and tax season is here, and I'm pretty sure. And the IRS, if you put the IRS together, it spells theirs, and they're trying to come after your money. Some people think the IRS stands for the Internal Revenue Service. It actually stands for I'm really scared, because they're really trying to after taking people's money. so just in case you get fancy with your audits, just in case you get fancy with your returns, you got a tax attorney to walk you through your audit. And tax attorneys are actually some of the most expensive attorneys out there. And so this is included in your services, just as long as you filed for that particular year. So let's make that clear. And 25,
So,
yes.
what were you going to say about 45? I'll let you finish that, and then I'll ask my question.
No, I was going to say 24/7 emergency access, but go ahead and answer your question.
Okay, so everything that you just reviewed right here is in like a monthly plan that you would have access to with Legal Shield?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was just about to get to that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'll let you go. Then I won't interrupt. I'll let you
No,
go.
no, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Because look how that's how you know you're talking to smart people
Yeah.
because they're a little bit ahead of you on a presentation. Uh, so I'm gonna go over 24/7 emergency access, just in case of emergencies. Now, I actually bought the services myself specifically for this one thing. When I was 20 years old, I fit the description, unfortunately. The description was very, very broad. It was two black men, one with short hair, one with long hair. Not much else. Cops did what cops were supposed to do, which was pull everybody over with short hair and long hair to determine who committed this particular crime. Now, had I had this service at that particular time, I would have been able to call the attorneys, whether it was 3 o'clock in the morning, even on Christmas morning, been able to speak to an attorney, had them speak to the officer themselves, and been protected, and they would have been able to uh, make sure that my rights are protected, because you do have the right to remain silent. You have a right to contact your attorney. And so to have 24/7 emergency access on dial, you make sure your rights are always protected in the 24. So with all of this, quick guess, if you were my law firm, how much do you think this costs? How much would you charge?
Mm. I mean, that's a lot of services. What do I think that would charge? I don't know. I'm $500 a month.
$500 a month, and you would actually be very reasonable in your pricing. I actually did this presentation for in front of an attorney before, and he said, "Yeah, all of this 30,000 easy." But I asked him for the friends and family discount. He said, "I could give it to you for 20,000 easy." And I'm like, "Yeah, that makes sense." But we don't do this for $500, not even $100. All of this for you and your family for $37.95. $37.95. And I didn't even talk about the residential services like uh, loan document reviews, e-signatures, family domestic court issues, which include divorce, adoption, separation, name change, post and prenuptial agreements, and we get a 25% off discount for uh, your recreational activities. Like, we don't promote criminal behavior. However, if you do decide to rob a bank in your spare time, you'll never have to pay full price for an attorney. You'll still get 25% off discount. Sorry, that's not including $37.95 a month.
Be a good citizen.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't even
yeah.
worry
So
about that.
this is for good citizens, not for extracurricular citizens or people who need additional services. But the great thing about it is it makes these things affordable for the average everyday average ordinary citizen, so that they can get the same rights that the wealthy have without having a wealthy budget. Because as we know, as entrepreneurs, one of our biggest things is being cost effective, especially in a real estate game. And you might be in competition with you as an individual might be in competition with an entire company, especially in our entrepreneurs' endeavors. That's just the nature of our society. We're always in competition to achieve more business, but however, there are people with more resources, and so we just don't, as small businesses or small entrepreneurs, we don't have big business budgets. However, we can have big business power with this particular service.
So does this include an unlimited, or you're probably going to go over that next, aren't you?
No, no, please ask the question.
Does this include an unlimited number of contacts within a certain month? So like say I have 20 leases that I need reviewed, tenant leases. Can I get 20 tenant leases reviewed in 1 month for this 37.95?
Yes, yes, you can, with the additional business supplement.
Okay, so
Because
there's an additional.
yeah, because there's a business supplement specifically for entrepreneurs, because entrepreneur services are they just have higher needs, right? So
Yeah.
this is more so what I'm going over is particularly for the individual and the family. So if you are an individual and you say you have 20 leases, they will review all 20 leases. However, if you're doing business with other people, then that will be covered under the supplement aspect of it. But we also have, if you have a bigger need that's bigger than the supplements. Now this isn't a supplement. This is for our specifically our small business plans, which is separate from the previous plans.
Okay.
Um,
I have one. Can I stop you for 1 second?
sure.
So if say I've reached out to somebody in like an attorney right through Legal Shield and I start working with somebody and I really like them, can I request to work with them the next go around, or is it just kind of at random who I get?
No, it's not at random. What they do is they typically like to link you up with the same person who you've been working with,
Okay.
if that person is available.
Okay.
If that person is available. However, if you really need something done, you'll still have an expert because they do keep logs of what the previous attorney has done, and how this works is each state has a provider law firm has a provider law firm. So you call into that particular law firm, you state your case, and then they'll have the law, you state what you need. They'll give you the right attorney to call you back. You start working with that attorney, developing that relationship. They'll keep logs of everything, and all of this stuff will come on an app, so you can keep track of the logs in which they're logging for you. So it's pretty cool. Um, and you're pretty much guaranteed an attorney who's been working in that specific area for at least 10 years. You're not getting a jack of all trade attorney. So you're not getting a person who does you're not getting a person who does real estate, entertainment, farm law, whatever the case may be. You're getting somebody who's been specifically in those particular field and been an expert for that particular period of time, for an extended period of time. And so here's just a quick review of our small business plans, and it includes everything up, advice consultations, letters and phone calls written, documents, and contract review. Like as you stated, for our small business package, these are typically for brick and mortars. For brick and mortars, 20 20 pages. This is developing contracts for you, up to 10 per year, 15 pages each, letters and phone call written, unlimited document review, collection letters, five per month for our essential plans, 15 per month for our pro plan. They even do trademark and copywriting, a flat rate to write an entire employee handbook for you. That could cost tens of thousands just within itself. Custom contract drafting. We do have we do have templates in which we can customize for for your particular goals. But if you want something specific customized for you, that's going to cost you a flat 250 up to 25 pages each. IRS audited services, 50 hours for our pro plan, and trial defense services, 100 hours of trial defense with our trial defense supplement and our business supplement. Any
And
questions?
what, yeah, what do you, so when you say business plus supplement, what exactly is that referring to for that 14.95?
Business Plus supplement is access to professional business consultations in your particular field. So if you have, all right, since we're talking real estate, let's say um, you have a brick and mortar, you're building a real estate brokerage, so to speak, right? And you want like a business coach, or you need some advice on how to expand your particular business, you'll actually have somewhat of it's kind of like a mentor, to or consultant to tell you what you do for your next steps to even build to build that
Nice.
particular plan. So it's I would say it's worth it. for $14 a month, because typically consultation costs, hundreds per hour. All right. Identity theft. Identity theft. Fastest growing crime in America. Most people consider identity theft more financial based, but there's so many different areas of identity theft. There's tax return fraud. There's medical claims. Just imagine. Matter of fact, I used to work at a company called Hospital for Children with Special Needs. Hospital for Children with Special Needs. Let's keep that in mind. And they were Medicaid funded. They were a Medicaid funded insurance plan and hospital for children with special needs. They got a bill in the mail for some kind of liver surgery for a 65-year-old man. Hospital for children with special needs. Come to find out, that was the uncle of a child who actually had our services and got an entire operation done under that particular insurance plan. Yeah, medical identity fraud.
Whoa, I
So
didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I didn't realize, I don't even know how that works.
well, just imagine, somebody goes and get coverage in your name, and typically, uh, I know the last couple of times I've went to the doctor, they asked me for my insurance, but I don't remember them asking for my ID.
Mm.
So if someone, or even if someone makes a fake ID with your name and say, "Hey, I'm covered here," or "I'm covered under this," and it has your information with their face, medical insurance, they can they can steal your coverage, so to speak, and you won't even know, unless you get a bill or you go to the hospital and they realize there's conflicting files or conflicting ailments. Social Security, Social Security identity theft. There was a job. There was a story about a lady who went to go get a second job at Target. They said no, because you already work here. Somebody was using her social security number within the Target Corporation for job purposes. Credit identity theft, we're always familiar with that. Driver's license identity theft. Somebody makes a fake driver's license with your name, your address, their face, commits a crime or get a speeding ticket. It's on your driving record. Character criminal identity theft, basically the same thing. There was a story about a lady who got fired from a job. She was an educator because someone has pretty much stole her identity, had a fake ID, and committed a crime that messed up her record as a teacher. She had to spend like a half a year unemployed, just clearing her name to make sure that everything was put back in order, and thousands of dollars. So what do we do about it? Well, we give you this nice fancy app and give you access to a lot of different things. Um, Basically, you get to talk to them. First of all, you're going to get access. They're going to monitor the doc rebs. They're going to do VPN security. You get licensed investigators and privacy management as well. Uh, they have full service restoration just in case your identity is stolen. They do social media and sex offender searches. You name it, they monitor it, and they're going to alert you each time something happens in your name, so you can't even steal your identity. So last time I applied for a credit card, they sent me an alert, say, "Hey, somebody's applying for a credit card. Is that you?" Yes, it's me. It's good to know that I'm safe for myself even. And so all of this for the individual, 1995. For a family, family includes you and everybody you claim in your taxes, pretty much, $34.95. And
Nice.
so let me see that. And you get members perks. And that's just a fancy way of saying you get discounts on anything that you could possibly think of. So if you want to go on vacation, we have those for a discount just from being a member. Electronics, uh, candles, whatever you get, rent a cars, whatever, you get a discount just for being a member. Just for being a member. And so with that said, I think that is this presentation. So here's some action steps. Get some more information about what we got going on. This was a very fast presentation, and our services are very, very complex, very extremely complex. I didn't even get a chance to go over all the services because we have small business we have home-based business supplements. We have CDL driver supplements. We have gun owner supplements. We have all these different kinds of things that they are special presentations for. That if I were to keep going, I could go for 2 hours, and I know we're not going for that long. And so, yeah, we're good enough for going for that long. So, with that said, get some more information. Um, Feel free to contact me, get the services, and try it out. Any questions?
I have lots of questions.
Oh,
So,
with it.
what, I guess, are there like any stories in regards to real estate in particular that you've heard of where this has been super beneficial for someone? Like, instead of
Oh,
going straight to a lawyer, or just like any sort of real estate stories that could make an impact on people
Oh,
having
absolutely,
this.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you a few of my own personal stories. Um, well, currently, right now, I'm in discussions of buying a building in with my business partner, in Philadelphia. He's already in the real estate game. He's already been doing this. Is my first time buying into a multi-unit property. I'm excited. Um, so as we're going over the paperwork, each step of the process. I'm contacting my attorney, which I don't get charged for, and I'm sending them in the paperwork, which I also didn't get charged for. So that right there is saving me hundreds. I probably saved thousands of dollars just being able to send in just being able to have those particular contacts. I got a good friend who's a flipper, and so he bought a property, and the person he was buying it from. They had the contracts. And he had to do some work on a particular property. So he had to have a contractor and all that good stuff. And so he sent in so the contractor went in and looked at all the what he needed to be done and sent them the paperwork for whatever. He sent in the contract to the attorney. The attorney reviewed the contract and said, "Hey, make sure they have this stipulation, that stipulation. Make sure it's specifically mentioned in the contract." He asked why. He said, "Well, in this particular county, if these codes aren't met specifically, it can cost tens of thousands of dollars in fine that you, as the purchaser, will have to which will have to pay for." That's one if you're fixing and flipping. Um, I have another friend, a good friend of mine. He was trying to do some renovations on his own house. The contractor took half the money and bolted. Took the startup money and bolted. He spent months contacting the contractor. Ignore, 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 ignore. He got our services. They just simply wrote a letter, and I'm not even sure what the letter said. But within 2 weeks of that letter being sent out, a check came back. A check came back for the money. They At first they tried to do the services, but he said, "No, I don't want it. Just give me my money back." A check came back for the money. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's just the power of having an attorneys go to bat for you. Now, the great thing about having attorneys in general, now you can go directly to an attorney, but just know those conversations are going to cost 200 per conversation, 400 per conversation. And if you have additional questions, and don't hang up the phone within that hour, because that hour is done, and then you call them back, because that's another billing charge. And so, just as we know, knowledge is power, right? And so, just having knowledge of the law, or someone with unlimited access to knowledge of the law, can save you a lot of money. not to mention the contract reviews, not to mention to make sure everything is in check, not to mention make sure everybody is playing fair by you because they know that you have Big Brother behind you.
So I understand the value, right, of this. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people might be asking, like, how can this be possible for only $37.97 per month? Like, how are these attorneys then making their money? So how can you explain to us like the flip side
The
of it,
concept,
right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I get this question a lot. Like at $37, did they even pass the bar? Are they at the bar?
Yeah.
Are they behind bars? You know, and the answer is very simple. Uh, just imagine it's not just your $37 going to work for you. It's not just my 37, but it's collective buying power. So attorneys, just like doctors, know that not everyone is going to have a problem at the exact same time. So out of that $37, let's let's use New York State as an example. New York State has about 60,000 members paying on average $37 per month. About 10 of those dollars per month goes directly to the law firm. 10 times 60,000 is 600,000 going towards one law firm per month. So when I call my law firm in New York, I'm not calling as a $37 customer. I'm calling as a person who's a part of a $600,000 a month retainer.
Got it.
Yes. So it's collective buying power. It's everybody buying in at the same time. All of our law firms in the United States, we are their number one client in all of our law firms. In the law firm in California, they actually represent the Dodgers. We're still their number one client because of the amount of money that we send them per month. And so for $600,000 a month, let's say hypothetically in New York, for $600,000 a month, how well would you treat your customers if that was guaranteed to you for every month? Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just
that's
leveraging the network.
leveraging the network.
Mm,
That's exactly what we do.
beautiful. So do you know of, I don't know if you know that this answer, but do you know of any tax advantages? Like for pay, so say I'm paying this $37 a month. Maybe that's a burden for me as a small entrepreneur, maybe not. But if it is, like, are there tax advantages at the end of the year where I can like use this as a write-off?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, I just finished my taxes. Um, the good thing about it is, when I first got the services, I had a very similar question. I said, "Hey, as a new entrepreneur, how do I write?" They told me exactly what to do. Hey, make sure they told me exactly what to do. They gave me some advice. They said if you can keep have a specific bank account for all of your business expenses, that will make it easier. But if not, it's okay. Um, but just keep track of what you use for the business, including this particular service, and just act like you're preparing for an audit. So make sure everything is in place. So now, if you do happen to get audited, you have all the paperwork in place. You send it to your tax attorney. They'll go to bat for you and say, "Hey, well, my client does this, that, and another, and they do this for the particular business under these particular codes." Yes. So yes. So the long answer was just what I just said. The short answer, yes, you can write this service off as your taxes because every business needs a legal team, and your legal team just happens to cost $37.95.
So my question is did you receive that advice from your Legal Shield team or did you receive that advice from a CPA?
I received that advice from my lawyers, and I sent it to my CPA who did my taxes. Said, "I can't believe everything is well." The first time I said, he said, "I can't believe everything is intact like this. I never seen somebody so well organized." I was like, "I have an attorney. I have attorneys," and so that kind of worked out. I wish they had
Nice.
CP. I wish they had prepaid
CPA.
CPA attorneys. I mean, services. That would help.
Well, maybe they're out there. Maybe we just don't know about it. Or maybe that's a new business plan.
Right, 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 right. Right. But yes,
Huh,
I got that from my
beautiful.
tax attorneys. Yep.
Nice. Well, this was very informative for me. I think that is amazing, right? For $38 a month, you literally have an attorney in your pocket. You
Yes,
just pick up
yes.
the phone and call and get the help that you need. Because I feel like there's plenty of times where I'm like, oh, I just wish I could call an attorney, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to call an attorney because they're going to charge me $500 just to get an answer. If I would have, I guess, understood Legal Shield, then I could have had a
Yeah.
lot of questions answered.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to say this as well. We have something that no other attorneys have, which is called which is quality control. Um, and that's because we do guarantee the lawyers a certain amount per month, a lot of money per month to do good work. And so they are not allowed to give bad, they're almost not allowed to give bad services because that can mess up the whole thing. So if you do have and I feel I need to say this, if you do have a problem with an attorney, you can actually call our customer service and get a replacement attorney, and they will make sure that problem never happens again
Nice.
because because if they don't work well, the services don't make sense to people. No one's going to want to pay a consistent subscription fee for something that for a faulty service. And so that's the benefit of buying into that's the benefit of buying into the network versus going out into the attorneys yourself, because if you were to get bad services from another attorney, guess what, you're still going to have to pay that bill, and you're going to have to find a better attorney, and you're going to have to pay that bill as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Two. All right. Do we have any questions from the audience? No? All right. Well, Mike, this was very informative. We really appreciate you coming on. We really appreciate you explaining this to us. It was very helpful to me, and I know it will be helpful to many other people. Is there a place where people can find you? So if somebody has questions, is there a place where people can contact you directly, or what would you suggest if this is something that people would like to move forward with?
Oh, absolutely. You could catch me on Facebook, Mike Christian Jr. Um, Mike Christian Jr. Facebook. You can actually across all platforms, Mike Christian Jr. On Instagram as well, all one word, Mike Christian Jr. and Mike Christian Jr. Um, and feel free to shoot me a question. Matter of fact, I'll actually leave my number here as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, go
All
for
right,
it.
you could also shoot me a text at 347-858-6743. I could get your questions answered. That's 347-858-6743. Get your questions answered. If you have any additional questions, concerns, or comments or whatever, I'm open to hear it, and hopefully I can help you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That wraps up episode 13 of Capital Conversations. Make sure that you guys tune in next month. Next month will be, let me double check on the date, March 18th at 7:30 p.m. EST, and we're going to have Jose Cortez with Cortez Home Solutions, and he's going to be talking about creative financing, sub two, and seller financing. So make sure you tune in there. Thank you so much again. We really appreciate it.